baby.
9 years, 256 goals, 1 Champions League, 2 Premier League titles, 3 Golden Boots, and in the end, he chose to walk away. Not because he was sold, not because he was finished, but because the greatest player in Liverpool's modern history decided, on his own terms, that it was time. He left with an Instagram post, a dressing room divided, and £20 million left on the table. So who is this man really? A humble boy from a village nobody had heard of? Or a king who burned his own throne on the way out? And the real question nobody's fully answered yet: what actually happened behind those Anfield doors? I'm talking about Mohamed Salah. From the dusty village roads of Nagreg in Egypt to the iconic stages of Anfield, this is the full story of Mohamed Salah. We're gonna cover the records, the trophies, the empire he built off the pitch, but we're also gonna get to the moment his own teammates publicly turned on his manager, the Instagram post that split an entire club in two, and the £20 million he voluntarily walked away from. Stay with me till the end, because this story is about more than just football.
Mohamed Salah grew up in Nagreg, a small farming village in the Nile Delta that most people couldn't find on a map. Born June 15, 1992, into a modest household where football wasn't a hobby. It was everything. From the very beginning, 2 things defined him: his faith and his football. As a practicing Muslim, he prayed before every match, observed Ramadan during the season, and never drank or smoked while playing in one of the most physically demanding leagues on the planet. That discipline wasn't coached into him. It was who he was. At 14, he was accepted into Al Mokawloon in Cairo. Sounds like a breakthrough, except Cairo was hours from Nagreg. Every single day, Salah boarded a series of buses for a round trip that sometimes stretched close to 9 hours. 9 hours of travel for a training session while other kids his age were sleeping in. No complaints, no shortcuts, just a quiet, determined boy on a bus, with a dream bigger than his exhaustion. That kind of hunger either gets rewarded or gets crushed, and before Salah found his throne, it nearly got crushed completely.
FC Basel spotted him first. Then in 2014, Chelsea came calling. Jose Mourinho. And for a boy from Nagreg, this should have been the fairy tale chapter, but instead, it became the hardest lesson of his career. 19 appearances. Mourinho unconvinced, and Salah found frozen out before he ever got started. Most players never recover from a Chelsea rejection. It follows them, defines them, and becomes the ceiling people put on their career. Salah filed it away as motivation. He went to Fiorentina on loan, then Roma permanently. And what happened at Roma is what eventually forced Liverpool to spend £36.9 million on a player Chelsea had thrown away for nothing. Chelsea let him go for free. Liverpool paid nearly £40 million for the same player 2 years later. Let that sink in. What happened in that first Liverpool season wasn't a good debut. It was a detonation with 32 goals, a new Premier League record for a 38-game season. The front three of Salah, Mane, and Firmino became the most feared attacking unit in Europe. Every manager in the league spent the week before a Liverpool game trying to find answers that didn't exist. Then, the 2018 Champions League final. Salah started. Then, in the cruelest moment of his career, he was forced off injured after a clash with Sergio Ramos. He sat on the touchline in tears, watching Liverpool lose 3-1 to Real Madrid. The image went around the world. But this is the same boy who spent 9 hours on a bus every day without complaining. Heartbreak was never going to be the end of his story. 2019, Champions League final in Madrid. Salah scored inside 2 minutes. Liverpool won 2-0. The boy from Nagreg lifted the most prestigious trophy in European football. Then the Premier League title, ending a 30-year wait. The Super Cup, then the Club World Cup, the FA Cup, and the EFL Cup. Season after season, Salah delivered. Then came 2024-25. 29 goals, 18 assists, 47 goal contributions, breaking Thierry Henry's record that had stood for over 2 decades. Liverpool won their 20th English title. The club rewarded him with a brand new 2-year contract. By the summer of 2025, Mohamed Salah had everything. The records, the contract, the legacy. Liverpool were champions. Everything looked perfect. It was about to fall apart in a way nobody, not the fans, not the club, not even Salah himself, could have predicted. 3 Premier League Golden Boots, the all-time top foreign scorer in Premier League history, above Thierry Henry, above Cristiano Ronaldo, above Sergio Aguero. Every foreign player who has ever played in England, Salah is above them all. In 2019, Time magazine named him one of the 100 most influential people in the world. Not footballers, people. As Egypt's captain, he carried his nation to their first World Cup since 1990. And the life he built off the pitch? It matched every single bit of it. £350,000 to £400,000 per week at Liverpool. Endorsements with Adidas, Pepsi, Vodafone, Oppo, and Audi. Marketing analysts estimate he earns up to £1 million per week from brand deals alone, driven by his reach across Africa and the Middle East, where he isn't just admired, he's a national hero to hundreds of millions of people. Net worth between $130 and $140 million by 2026. Real estate companies in the UK, schools and hospitals funded across Egypt, without press releases, without announcements. But here's the detail about his life off the pitch that nobody expects. Somewhere in his garage, sitting next to some of the most expensive cars in the world, is a Toyota Camry, worth around £30,000. He kept it, on purpose, because that car is the boy from Nagreg before Anfield, before the Golden Boots, before any of it. But the rest of the garage? Lamborghini Aventador, worth up to $608,000, 3 Ferraris, 2 Bentleys, a collection worth well over $2 million. From a boy who couldn't afford the bus fare, to a garage worth over $2 million. But he kept the Camry, so that tells you everything. At home, a stunning modern mansion in Liverpool's most exclusive neighborhood, private cinema, full recovery suite, everything an elite athlete needs. And a sprawling Cairo villa so significant it made national headlines when it was broken into. Back in Nagreg, he married Magi, his childhood sweetheart, a biotechnology graduate who never once sought the spotlight. 2 daughters, a family that kept him grounded through all of it. Faith, family, and roots. The foundation that carried him through every setback in his career. Chelsea rejection, Kiev heartbreak, all of it. But not even that foundation could prepare him for what Arne Slot was about to do. The 2025-26 season started in tragedy. In July 2025, Liverpool winger Diogo Jota passed away suddenly. The whole club was shaken. Salah was visibly devastated. He broke down in tears at Anfield when fans sang Jota's name. A reminder that football is just a game. And then the season had to go on. November 30th, 2025. Slot dropped Salah against West Ham. According to him, it was a tactical decision. He wanted an extra midfielder, and Liverpool won. So he did it again against Sunderland, then again for Leeds. 3 games in a row. The man who just broken Thierry Henry's 20-year record, sitting on the bench. Here's the part that makes absolutely no sense. Liverpool didn't win a single game Salah sat out, not one, and Slot still kept leaving him out. Salah finally snapped, told reporters the club had thrown him under the bus, said he had zero relationship with Slot. Then came the Instagram post, publicly calling for a return to Klopp's high-intensity football, a direct public shot at his own manager, from the club's biggest star, for the entire world to see. And then the dressing room erupted. Not 1 or 2 players. Szoboszlai, Curtis Jones, Robertson, Ekitike, Kirkez, Frimpong all publicly liked the post. The whole squad had turned on the manager. right there, in public, on Instagram. Remember Chelsea didn't fight for him? Liverpool faced the exact same choice, either sack the manager or lose the legend. Eventually, they kept the manager, and Salah's contract was terminated a year early. He walked away from £20 million, voluntarily. The boy who used to travel 9 hours a day on a bus just to train walked away from £20 million because he refused to stay somewhere he no longer felt valued. That's not a financial decision, that's a statement. Mohamed Salah played his final game for Liverpool last Sunday. 9 years, 256 goals. Done. Right now he's a free agent, and the entire football world is circling. A return to Roma, the club that rebuilt him after Chelsea. Juventus on a free transfer. Saudi Arabia ready to make him one of the highest paid athletes on the planet. MLS with San Diego FC emerging as a surprise option. But he's said it himself, no decision until after the World Cup. Because before any contract is signed, there's one thing left: Egypt. The nation that watched a teenage boy take 9-hour bus journeys just to train. The country he's carried on his back for over a decade. At almost 34, this may be his last World Cup, and it's the one trophy his career is still missing. He's won the Champions League, the Premier League, broken every record, built an empire from nothing, left £20 million on the table on his own terms. The boy who nobody in the football world had heard of, from a village most people still can't find on a map, became the greatest foreign scorer in the history of English football. Long live the Egyptian king. Drop a comment. Where does Salah go next? Saudi? Roma? MLS? And can Egypt go deep at the World Cup with him leading the charge? If you enjoyed this, you already know what to do. See you in the next one.